Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6 in high definition.
It's John McCain's turn in the national spotlight. Here's a live picture from the Republican National Convention where in a very short time McCain will accept the nomination, setting up a likely bruising battle for the presidency with Barack Obama. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The Arizona senator expected to play up his military and congressional service.
He'll also attempt to weigh his foreign policy and national security credentials against Senator Barack Obama's. McCain actually has a tough act to follow. His VP pick, Sarah Palin, electrified the crowd as she slung harsh criticism at Obama.
So what exactly is our opponent's plan? What does he actually seek to accomplish after he's done turning back the waters and healing the planet?
Some analysts felt she went too far, but the delegates loved it. Excerpts of McCain's speech show he will try to play up his bipartisan record of working with members of both parties, along with his military record. Nevada Senator John Ensign spoke in support of McCain just a few minutes ago.
But I can guarantee you one thing. John McCain knows what it means to be free. If we fail to elect leaders who don't understand that, we fail as freedom's keepers. We are facing one of the most important national elections in generations.
Senator McCain's speech is scheduled for 7-hour time, and it will air here on Channel 8.
And tonight's speech will be closely watched in Nevada, where Republicans have fallen behind Democrats in the number of registered voters. I-Team political analyst John Ralston is here now. You spoke with his Nevada chairman today.
Right. Brian Krolicki, Lieutenant Governor's in St. Paul. He joined us on face-to-face by satellite. It's interesting. He said what you guys were just talking about. This is almost like the secondary speech by the presidential nominee after last night. That was the big one, and Brian Krolicki talked a little bit about that.
John McCain is a known entity. I think he'll do a fabulous job tonight, but I almost don't think the stakes are quite as high. People know him. I do expect him to give a rousing speech. I think he'll put some more definition on issues like education and health care, but I think the stakes yesterday were profoundly big and they were met, and tonight we'll just savor and culminate this convention and get out to work around the country and make sure we deliver Nevada and this country to John McCain and Governor Palin come November.
Yeah, usually the vice presidential acceptance speech is like the opening act, and now it's like the opening act is coming after, you know, it's kind of strange.
You must have asked, what do you think of Sarah Palin?
I don't think Brian Krolicki could have been more excited about Sarah Palin. And you know what? I don't think he was acting. I mean, he was quoted in the Gazette-Journal up north where he's from today as saying, you know, my God, it was like she didn't just hit a home run, she hit it out of the stadium. He was doing more baseball analogies, and he was talking about a trifecta that she hit, so he was going into horse racing. I think he would have used every sport in the book if I could have given it to him. I mean, these delegates truly were excited about Sarah Palin. You know what? This is what a lot of people are saying, just what the Republicans needed. They weren't that excited about John McCain. He's not a great speaker. Doesn't appeal to the base as well. But Sarah Palin got him excited over that.
Yeah, it's all people have talked about since she was announced. When will we see McCain here?
You know, it's interesting. I've talked a lot right here about how Nevada's a real battleground state. It's not just talk. John McCain's the main campaign guru, a guy named Charlie Black, a big-time Washington lobbyist, talked to the Nevada delegation this week, and he said, you're going to see a lot of John McCain. Remember, John McCain didn't even know where we were during the caucus season. He finished in third here. But Nevada really is one of the pivotal states. I think you're going to see John McCain, Barack Obama here a lot, and I know they want to come just to be on face-to-face. I know it.
I know it.
We hope we'll see him there. All right, thanks, John.
You bet.
You can watch John on his show Face to Face. That's on our cable station Las Vegas 1, Cox Cable Channel 19.
And Barack Obama was in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. He says Republicans are spending more time attacking him and avoiding discussions on the sagging economy and housing problems. Obama also questioned Palin's experience. For his part, Obama's running mate Joseph Biden said today he was impressed with Palin's speech, and he's looking forward to the opportunity to debate her.
Locally, a statewide political fight is coming to a close. Today, the Supreme Court upheld the state's ruling that 3 voter initiatives should be kept off the ballot, saying signatures were never gathered properly. 2 of the ballot questions would cap the amount of money the LVCVA could make every year. That's the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Any money beyond the cap would have been used for schools, roads, and public safety. Now, the court found people collecting signatures did not give signers a chance to understand what was in the initiative. Secretary of State Ross Miller says this was the right decision.
The laws have to be followed, and clearly in this case they weren't.
A third measure was also struck down. It would have limited tax increases by a 2/3 vote of the public. The LVCVA again said in a statement, while we agree with the state Supreme Court's ruling today, it is important we remain focused on our core mission to attract visitors by promoting Las Vegas as the world's most desirable destination for leisure and business travel.
Air safety in Las Vegas is getting more attention again tonight, a day after a heated and emotional meeting involving residents. The Clark County Aviation Association is discussing 2 deadly crashes in which planes smashed into homes. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Aaron Drawhorn is at the North Las Vegas Airport. Aaron.
Paula, this will be a similar meeting to the one last night in many ways. Pilots will be here to listen to neighbors' concerns and to address those concerns. Last month's crash of an experimental aircraft will be the jumping off point for tonight's discussion by the Clark County Aviation Association. That plane crashed into a home near the North Las Vegas airport last month, killing 2 elderly people inside and the pilot. Then just 6 days later, a twin-engine Piper Navajo went down into a home near Jones and Cheyenne, killing the pilot. Neighbors had concerns to begin with, and now these 2 tragedies have brought their issues to light again.
Some of the aircraft need to be removed from the airport. I think the training flights need to not be here.
To listen to their concerns, raise our concerns, and see if we can somehow or another come together in the middle.
Lerner says the pilot's safety record is actually a good one overall here. He says the meeting tonight will address concerns. It's meant to engage the community and to avoid an us versus them mentality. That meeting just started right at 6 o'clock. If you're in the area, it is open to the public. We're live at the North Las Vegas Airport tonight. Aaron Drawhorn, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Aaron. And a forum on our valley's foreclosure crisis is underway right now in the Northwest Valley. A panel of experts assembled at the Centennial Hills Community Center, that's at Buffalo and Deer Springs. The forum is being sponsored by the City of Las Vegas Neighborhood Services Department. It's tackling all aspects of the crisis, including the overall impact on hard-hit neighborhoods.
The intent of the foreclosure forum tonight is to really educate not only the HOAs and the neighbor associations, but also the public about what can be done. It's to tell them about the state of the issue and what things are being done, and to really give them factual information.
City officials say they're concerned that foreclosed homes in disrepair are creating a blight in neighborhoods that can lead to vandalism and lower property values for surrounding homes. That hearing will continue for the next several hours. And there are thousands of foreclosed and vacant homes around the valley. Police have arrested 2 people they say were involved in a scheme to rent out properties they did not own. Investigators say they uncovered the actions of Melinda Cowan and Emilio Gonzalez after a California resident who owns a home in the Las Vegas Valley found a family in his house. The family claimed they'd been there for several months. After police were informed, a sting was set up. Cowan and Gonzalez are charged with burglary and obtaining money under false pretenses.
The owner of a local Taekwondo school is under arrest and charged with attempted sexual assault of a child under the age of 14. Police fear there may be more victims. 41-year-old Luis Castro was arrested today in connection with the alleged incident in the summer of 2007. Castro's school is located in the northeast part of the valley. He's also involved in other youth organizations. Metro is asking others who can help to call Crime Stoppers.
Oh, graffiti is a multi-million-dollar problem in southern Nevada. The Las Vegas City Council has come up with some new ways now to attack taggers. Next on Eyewitness News at 6, we ask the question if the new penalties will work.
Also, as Pac-Man Jones gets ready to return to the football field, a local man paralyzed in a brawl started by Jones will be watching his activities closely.
I'm meteorologist Gina Cancelleri. We will take a look into the tropics coming up in weather and, of course, our forecast here. If you liked yesterday, you like today. If you like today, most likely you will like tomorrow. Details ahead on Eyewitness News at 6.
Beat the Traffic on Eyewitness News in HD is brought to you by Planet Hyundai.
The City of Las Vegas is putting a little more teeth into penalties against graffiti vandals. City Council approved stiffer penalties, higher fines, and suspension of vandals' driver's licenses. Eyewitness News reporter Travell Island joins us now with a bit more on that. Travell?
Well, Graffiti, Dave, around the valley is more than an eyesore. It actually takes away from the community, and it's also a telltale sign of a much bigger problem. But not only does this graffiti actually deface the community, it also costs taxpayers millions of dollars to clean it all up every year, and city council members say they've had enough. Take a drive through the valley, and it won't take long to find.
They'll go down there and they'll do the entire neighborhood.
It's Travis Tapia's job to cover it all up.
And it's a full-time job, all day, every day.
He spends hours fixing the damage graffiti vandals took just seconds to leave behind.
We're not going to have this senseless graffiti on our walls, on our vehicles, and on our public and private properties. I'm not going to stand for it, and it is ugly, and I'm looking to beautify the community.
Las Vegas City Councilman Ricky Barlow says it's not only an eyesore, but a pain in the taxpayers' pocketbook. Last year, Clark County spent more than $30 million to undo the tagger's tattoo.
And I would prefer to see that money be utilized otherwhere, such as education possibly, whereas we can educate our young people on, you know, how to effectively move throughout this community and do positive things.
The writing on the walls also reveals a gang problem. Fed up with the mess, Barlow championed a new city ordinance to crack down.
The gangs, you know, are engraving their markings for their territory, but what we're doing is sending a clear message back that we're not going to tolerate it.
Now fines are higher. Those caught leaving their marks will also have to do community service to clean it up. If you're a minor, your parents will have to pay for graffiti removal, and if you're an adult, you could lose your driver's license for up to 2 years.
It's not, you know, a tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye, but more so really trying to get their attention to say, you need to stop.
I'm going to try and pull as much hose here.
3 years ago, the mayor had a more aggressive approach to the problem.
You put them on TV and cut off a thumb. That may be the right thing to do.
The taggers keep Tapia busy, but city council members are hoping the new tough laws will give him a break. Now, this year alone, Metro officers tell me they've already arrested 200 people throughout the Las Vegas area for graffiti tagging, and also they say they've identified nearly 500 tagging crews or gang members that mark graffiti to mark their territory. Police officers are hoping that this new improved punishment will actually help them erase some of their graffiti problems. To find out more or to report problems in your neighborhood, you can log on our website, lasvegasnow.com.
Thank you, Travell. A school in Las Vegas is trying to break the mold of traditional teaching. Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 6, it's helping kids succeed who once struggled in mainstream school settings. Plus one more day to the weekend with some above average temperatures. Gina has neighborhood weather.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6 with Gary Waddell and Paula Francis. The first local news in HD.
Traditional public middle school and high school campuses can have enrollment that tops 1, 2, even 3,000 students. Students who have emotional or behavioral issues can get into trouble or simply fall through the cracks without the attention they need. Reporter Allison McCarthy joins us with a look at how some of the school district's most troubled teens are finding success in a school with a much smaller and more supportive environment. Allison.
Paula, imagine a public middle school or high school where there wasn't a single incident of fighting, drugs, or weapons on campus last year. If it seems too good to be true, well, then you haven't toured the Delta Academy Public Charter School yet. This may look like the cafeteria at any public middle school, but it's not. This is the Delta Academy, a public charter school for students in grades 7 through 12, located on North Rancho Road.
I'm going to ask Daniel to read the vocabulary.
With a total enrollment of just 115 students and 10 teachers and staff, the Delta Academy offers a much more intimate and supportive environment for students like Jessica Philbin, who was struggling in her traditional middle school setting.
It was really hard for me because the big crowds, we had probably about 31 students in the classroom, and I would hyperventilate and run out of the classroom.
Jessica said she used to have panic attacks, missed a lot of school, and wasn't challenged at all in her remedial classes. But now, just 1 year later, Jessica is a thriving 9th grader at the Delta Academy. She even co-wrote and directed the school play.
They really helped me find myself.
This model fits any student that's not finding success in their traditional setting.
With smaller class sizes of no more than 15 students, Jessica and her fellow classmates get more individualized attention from their teachers.
The teacher is actually able to address the needs of each particular student. Give us the title of the story, please, and the author. It offers children a chance to succeed.
The Delta Academy Charter School first opened its doors 2 years ago to educate troubled teens undergoing court-appointed drug or alcohol treatment. excitement. But now it's becoming a popular alternative for students who just don't want to get lost in a huge high school crowd.
Here we're like one big family.
Now, enrollment at the Delta Academy has more than doubled in 2 years. So the rehab students now only make up a small percentage of the entire student body. And this is really good news. No tuition because it is a public school. For more information about the Delta Academy Charter School, go to our website at lasvegasnow.com. And Paula and Dave, I learned today that the mathematical symbol for change is the delta.
It's delta, right.
The delta symbol.
It's a gradient.
They say change happens every day there.
It makes sense. That's a great story. Yeah. So we're back to
tropics.
Josephine, Ike, Hannah.
You've got it all. And there may be
Man.
another one developing
Oh,
over
my
the next
gosh.
48 hours. Yes. Here's the current picture from the Hurricane Center in the Atlantic Basin. And anywhere you see those red swirly things indicates where we have a tropical storm right now, or a hurricane in Ike's case, a Category 4 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale with winds sustained at 135 miles per hour. Now, I do want to point out that little yellow circle just now to the west of Josephine. That is a possible development, an area that looks possibly ripe for a tropical storm to develop within the next 48 hours. So of course I'll let you know if one does develop, and we'll talk about its name too in the days to come. But for now, let's focus on Hannah. That is the closest one to the United States. This is the forecast for the next 3 days where Hannah may go. It's a forecast cone, so it's just a probability of where this storm may head as we head through the next couple of days together. Right now the storm is just now to the east of the Bahamas. As we move through the next few days, it will move off to the north, possibly influencing the coast of the Carolinas, then pulling out over the east coast of the United States as we move possibly into the upcoming weekend, with a whole lot of rain and wind, of course, associated with this storm. Right now it is a tropical storm. Once it was a hurricane, and it could possibly bounce back up to hurricane status as we move through the next couple of days. We'll let you know. In the meantime, it's still beautiful here. If you liked yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, you probably like today. Here's a look from Casterson Elementary throughout the past 8 hours, and it does show basically from start to finish the same thing. A whole lot of blue sky, a whole lot of sunshine. Temperatures, though, a few degrees hotter today than we were yesterday. Current number here, 102. High temperature here today, 106. Overnight lows in the low 70s with a light wind right now out of the southwest at 4 miles per hour. A gust earlier of 14 miles per hour. Current humidity here, 8%. Conditions at the airport right now, pretty much the same. Current temperature, 99 degrees. Trying to hang on to those triple digits, but not quite there. Wind is calm, humidity 8%. Pressure is steady at the moment. And of course, we have not picked up any rain for quite some time. Don't expect to see any rain either as we move through the next couple of days. However, in the 7-day forecast, we may have some changes there. So here's a look at the futurecast as we move through the night tonight. Notice clear sky everywhere over the state of Nevada, including us here in southern Nevada. Overnight low temperatures may be a few degrees warmer than yesterday, so expect maybe the mid-70s tonight as opposed to the lower 70s. 74 for Las Vegas, Henderson 76, Mesquite 75, Laughlin 78, and look at all those stars. Beautiful. As we move through Friday, again, a day very similar to today. Lots of sunshine. High temperature could be a little hotter by a degree or two, but nothing extreme, nothing excessive. We're doing all right. Henderson, 105 for high temperature there. Then as we move into the upcoming weekend, we're going to repeat everything. It's by the middle of next week. We could see a storm. This is looking more impressive every time I look at the computer models and every single run. So it's possible we could have more clouds, cooler weather, wind coming back by the middle of next week.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Gina.
Thanks, Gina. Well, the NFL season officially kicked off tonight, and one Valley man is keeping a close eye on at least one player. Tom Urbanski just can't forget the night that shots rang out at the Minx Strip Club where he worked as a bouncer. Urbanski was paralyzed following the melee that broke out during the 2007 NBA All-Star Weekend, and it was found out that NFL player Adam Pac-Man Jones incited a fight inside the club, which ultimately led to the shooting outside.
It's long, it's arduous. I mean, Tommy still doesn't have feeling, below his waist. But he's getting through it, and every day he's learning more, and every day he's getting a little bit better. But it's still going to be a struggle. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle for the rest of his life.
Jones was suspended shortly after last February's shooting. He was just reinstated.
Chris Matthews is here with the rest of the NFL action.
That's right, lots going on. Football center state, especially right here in Las Vegas. It's really happening now. The NFL season underway, as we mentioned. Rebels are already a week into their season and heading to Utah on a mission. Plus, more TV time for the running Rebels. Good news for fans here in Las Vegas. More next on Channel 8.
Now, Channel 8 Eyewitness Sports with Chris Matthews.
All right, the time has finally arrived. The NFL season kicked off this afternoon. Giants hosting the Redskins. New York City Giants score first. Eli Manning rolls, keeps, and he scores. New York could go up 16-zip before Washington gets on the board. Santana Moss on the end of the TD toss. Giants 16-7. Now they move to the fourth. Hey, there are a few college games tonight, but our attention turns to Saturday's showdown between Utah and UNLV. The Rebels head to Salt Lake City with a ton of confidence. The flags will be unfurled this weekend in Utah. The Rebels get the nationally ranked Utes.
In order to be the best, you have to beat the best, and they've been pretty good at the top of the conference the past 2 years.
This is Utah, which has won 7 straight bowl games.
It'll be nice to be the team and that's in the top 25. That'll definitely make our team look better. And, as we try to step our game up this season, just to prove to people that we're a good football team.
Oh, I didn't know the rank, but now I know. It's going to make it a little more fun.
In 40 years of football, the Rebels have beaten 4 ranked teams. 3 of those wins came on the road, the last in 2003. Utah just beat Michigan. Impressive? Yes. Intimidating? No.
You can't be intimidated this game, you know what I'm saying? You always got to go out there and play. They got it in their heads that it's a big payback from last year, but we're going to come out here and play our game.
UNLV hasn't beaten the Utes in Salt Lake City, but shut them out here in Las Vegas last year.
They probably looked at that as probably the low part, the low point as a season, definitely. So I'm pretty sure that they're looking for some payback.
All right, 5 o'clock on Saturday. How about some basketball? The Runnin' Rebels officially begin practice in 6 weeks. They've firmed up a few things. Rebels will play at Louisville on New Year's Eve. The game will be shown nationally on ESPN2 December 31st at 3 o'clock. 2 more games have been firmed up. UNLV will play BYU on Wednesday in Provo, January 21st. And then Air Force visits UNLV March 4th at 7:30. Both those games will be shown on CBS College Sports. And we will be right back.